Hey y'all, I just want to go in a little bit more detail about the video that I made previously about the Simplified King James Version, about the thing with the alliance and stuff like that, and the affinity. Um, well, from what I'm finding out, what I'm seeing is whenever I went to look up those things and check them out, a lot of other Bible versions say the same thing that the Simplified King James Version said. So it seems to me that Barber Publishing, in, if I have the time, I'll show you in the back here, the revision of the words, these revision of these words, these archaic, whatever they call it, archaic words, which they're not really archaic because people use those types of words all the time, especially in government, whereas this, that, and the other, heretofore and all that and other. But anyway, as I was saying though, that when you see it says affinity, it doesn't refer to a marriage. It gives no indication or implication of a marriage. And if there were a marriage between Ahab's children and Jehoshaphat's children, or Jehoshaphat married a sister of Ahab or what have you, vice versa, then that came later. But as you see down in the context, it says, "Now Jehoshaphat had riches and honor and abundance." This is from the King James Version. "And joined affinity with Ahab. And after certain years he went down to Ahab and to Samaria. And Ahab killed sheep and oxen for him in abundance, and for the people that he had with him, and persuaded him to go up with him to Ramoth Gilead." Okay, to go up with him. "And Ahab king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat king of Judah, Wilt thou go up with me in Ramoth Gilead? And he answered him, I am as thou art, and my people as thy people, and we will be with thee in the war." So it wasn't implicating a marriage between Ahab's children and Jehoshaphat's children, or Jehoshaphat to Ahab's sister, or what have you, or whatever. It wasn't implicating that or implying that. It didn't say that. Now, I might say it later, but because I think there was a time whenever Omri's, or Ahab's father, Ahab's daughter rather, married somebody in the line of Judah. I don't think that was Jehoshaphat's daughter right then and there, but it could have been. But at the same time, it still wasn't implying that. It was talking about them coming together in an alliance as friends. "Would you go up with me?" "Sure, I am as thou art. Let's get it done. Let's go to Ramoth Gilead. Kick their butts. We're buddies now." So anyway, that's what it was talking about. But at the same time, you see, like I said, when I was looking all that up, I seen that several other versions had the same thing, given of alliance of marriage. But that's not what the Authorized Version says. That's not the context that the Authorized Version is saying. But this is what this is saying, and it's what the other ones are saying that are like it. So basically what you have in the Simplified King James Version Bible is it being a lot like the other versions. It's not simplified for you or for me. It's simplified, that is to take away, they call it simplification, that is to take away from what the true Authorized Version means and to make it sound more like the other versions, basically. If you go to the back of it, the Simplified King James Version Bible, and it says the SKJV revision process, and it shows you all the words it revised. And so it's in a very, these pages are so fragile, so thin, you can bend them up in a heartbeat. From 1203 on back. And it's got, like, instead of some cases it has one word, then it has like 2 or 3 definitions beside it. The newer definition as opposed to the archaic definition. So it's not really making the King James Version Bible better to read. It's making it more like the authorized. It's making it more like the New Age versions, the NIV, NLT, ESV, MEV, all the rest of them. And so it's done that with the easy reading King James Version. It's done that with King James Version 1, 2, and 3. King James Version Millennium Edition, King James Version, whatever, J.P. Green has done all that stuff. MEV, New King James Version, ESV, all those are derivatives of the King James Version, trying to make the King James Version better. But basically all they're doing is, and all they're saying is, all they're doing is reading like the worldly versions, the worldly Bibles that are the perversions of the King James Version, the true version, in my book, in my thinking. So that's all this is doing, because once I saw all that stuff, all the versions of it saying the marriage and the alliance, because it wasn't even talking about that. That's not what the context was talking about. The context here was not referring to her marriage. It was referring to her friendship and alliance. But yet the Simplified King James Version said the same thing as the other ones, as those other versions, the ones that have a very similar reading in those. And it was like, oh my gosh, the Simplified King James Version is not really the King James Version better. It's the King James Version made worse to sound like these New Age versions, and so it's taking away from what the King James Version of the Bible says. And then the interesting thing is too that it doesn't do anything to Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi, and Jehovah Shalom, all the rest of them, because those they're trying to stay close as they can, so as they say, to the authorized version. And so evidently Yahweh is not a big deal. There's no Yahweh in this Bible. The Simplified King James Version is all Jehovah. So that might be disappointing to some people when you can't find Yahweh in the Simplified King James Version. Now, I haven't looked through all of it, of course. I hadn't had the time. That's a long way. I mean, and the pages are so thick, they're so fickle and thin, and they're easy to bend, and it's easy to almost accidentally tear them if you're not careful. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. The Simplified King James Version Bible is just like the other versions. It's a watering down of the King James Version to fit those other versions of the Bible, NIV, NLT, ESV, all the rest of them, NASB, what have you. So anyway, I just wanted to share that real quick. And again, has different it has different words. It replaces different words and gives different things, like in that one that I was talking about. It went from that was talking about affinity. Well, it replaced it with a marriage and alliance. So it was very ambiguous in its definitions or in its word choices. So there you go. And that's what these other Bible versions do. They do the same thing. They're very ambiguous. They give many words within one sentence or whatever, in one verse, and say this is what it means also can mean this, and they change it from the truth into something that's not the truth. And that's not trying to give anybody out there a hard time who reads these New Age Version Bibles. I'm just saying that is not what the context was about. There might have been a marriage, but it wasn't what Jehoshaphat and Ahab were discussing or talking about. They were becoming friends. They became friends. And the lights went out in Tennessee. In Athens, rather. But anyway, I just wanted to share it again. Sorry if this is becoming a rant or whatever, but I felt like I needed to share it, and so I did. But once I looked at all that other stuff and see what the other Bible version says as to what this says, I said, oh my gosh, it's just basically another perverted version. It's just another New Age Version Bible. So anyway, again, just want to share that. Thanks a lot for watching. God bless.